going on, family? It's your girl Silk the Siren. Okay, I'm here to give you guys my spiritual series. In today's series, we're going to be talking about shadow work and how it's important and what ways you can utilize shadow work to bring your best side of you. Okay, you want to integrate your light with your dark, and that's what we're here for, to tell you what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Now let's get to the video. Okay, shadow work is a psychological practice, okay, identifying, exploring, and integrating unconscious hidden parts of you, personality, okay, often called the shadow self. This term was coined by a psychiatrist Carl Jung. It involves bringing suppressed emotions, traumas, undesirable traits like jealousy, anger, or greed into conscious awareness to foster self-acceptance and reduce self-sabotage and to heal. All right, you want to make sure you're healing, guys. Make sure you're getting your coping mechanisms together and things of that nature, so you don't be creating enemies. You want to create partnerships, healthy partnerships at that. You're not just a version of yourself. You show the world that there's another version of you. Quite reactive, emotional, sometimes even self-sabotaging. That's your shadow. And whether you face it or not, because we all like to act like we don't got a bad side, we got a bad side, it will ruin and run your life. You make sure you run your emotions and you cope with your emotions, and you make sure you integrate different activities where you can, balance that out. All right. Shadow work comes from like I said, the psychiatrical phrase from psychiatrist Dr. Carl Jung. Okay. He believes every person has a shadow self. And I know I got a shadow self. Her name is Topanga. Topanga gets down. Okay. The parts of you that you reject, suppressed, and hidden because they were judged, shamed, and not accepted. And we all go through our wounds that integrate this. Okay, this includes like jealousy, the times where you felt jealous, the times where you felt angry, the times you felt insecure, the times where you felt undesirable, and even desires you were told you were too much. Okay, but here's the truth, and I need you guys to pay attention. Your shadow isn't evil. Like a lot of people like to say that your bad side is evil. It's not evil. It's unintegrated power. And this unintegrated power we need to tap into. We need to tap into it so we can get into our higher self. And how does it show up? How does it show up in our friendships, in our love life? How does it show up? If you don't consciously face your shadow, it shows up unconsciously. All right, so I'm going to give you guys an example in real life for me, okay? You say you want love, right? But do you push people away at the moment when they get close, at the moment where it gets personal, at the moment where you feel vulnerable, okay? That's not random at all, okay? You guys need to pay attention to that. That's your shadow protecting your old wounds, okay? Things that made you feel insecure, things that made you feel awful about yourself, okay? I'm going to give you guys a movie example, The Black Swan. And I like that Black Swan because Nia tries to be perfect, pure, and control. But her shadow side, her darker, more sensual side, starts taking over in the movie. And, she really gets into some things when she gets into her dark side. You can really see the authenticness, okay? She wasn't becoming someone else. She was becoming whole, just in a destructive way because she resisted it. So when you're in the force of resistance, you're in the force of in denial. Okay, and I'm gonna give you guys another example. Bruce Wayne. Okay, when Bruce Wayne becomes Batman in his shadow, his pain, his rage, his trauma, because I love Batman, turns into his identity. And a lot of people trigger Batman. A lot of people trigger him when it came to the Joker and everything like that. He channels it consciously though, but that's the only difference, that he challenged it consciously. So we want to take these examples in our everyday life, okay? And why shadow work is important. Okay? If you ignore your shadow, listen clearly. You project it onto others, and they're toxic when it's your own behavior. You repeat toxic patterns. You feel stuck without knowing why. And that's the worst feeling, is feeling stuck without knowing why. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some book references to help you guys. Help me, all right? In the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, one core idea is understanding human nature. And I love his books because he really goes into details with human nature, okay? Especially the motives of people that they don't want to admit to. Because, you know, everybody has their different motives. You guys got to pay attention to that. Shadow work is how you understand your own hidden motives first, okay? Because you can't master your own life if you're blind to it and to yourself, okay? You cannot master your own life if you are blind to yourself, okay? So you have to be aware of thyself. You know thyself. Okay, remember that old phrase, know thyself? Yeah, exercise that. Simple shadow work exercises that I do that helps me out. And I'm going to give you guys a simple breakdown you can do yourself, all right? Step one, okay? Listen, identify the triggers. Ask yourself, what situation made me overreact recently? Okay? What situation that I overreacted without taking the time to really know? Someone didn't text you back and you spiraled, okay? I know, like, you ain't pick up your phone, I'm about to go ahead and go in. You ain't text me back, okay? So to ask the real question instead of why did they do that, ask what did I feel and why did it hit so deeply? Okay, what triggered that feeling? Was it a trigger of abandonment? Was it a mother wound? What made me feel that way? And I'm going to show you some ways. Okay, it could be abandonment, not feeling chosen, the fear of being ignored. Okay, we all been in situations where our mothers put us in situations, our family members put us in situations, friends put us in situations, love interests put in a situation that made us felt that way. And step 3, let's trace it back. When is the first time you felt this way? When is the first time you felt abandoned? When is the first time you felt ignored? This is where the shadow work gets real, because usually it's not about today. It's about something older, okay? Deep-rooted issues. We got to get to the root. Get to the root of the problem, okay? And reclaim your power. And I'm going to show you the step 4, reclaiming your energy, okay? Ask yourself, what parts of me did I suppress to avoid feeling this way? Again, what parts of me did I suppress to avoid feeling this way? And okay, I'm going to give you guys an example. You learned to act unbothered, but your shadow holds your real need for attention, affection, and reassurance. And we all need reassurance. We all feel the need that we have to have reassurance. Why is that? That isn't weakness. It's just wasn't safe to express before. Okay? It wasn't weakness. It was just safe to express before. Oh, this is deep. Okay, so let's go ahead and just reframe all of this because a lot of information. All right. Shadow work isn't about fixing yourself. It's about integration of yourself. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Integration of yourself. Your anger might be boundaries. Your jealousy might be desire. Okay. Your insecurity might even be called for self-worth. Okay. Even in the Joker, I'm going to show you guys the example. Even in the Joker, the main character wasn't just crazy. He was a man whose shadow consumed him. Okay. It became him because it was never understood or healed. And, you know, everybody has their their backstories. Think of every villain, they have their backstories. That's what happens when the shadow is ignored too long. When you go without life thinking that you're healed, okay? So make sure you integrate that so that way you can heal fully. And the goal isn't to becoming perfect, okay? Because we all are not perfect as human beings living on earth, having a human experience. It's becoming aware. So we all have to become aware, guys. Because once you see your shadow, all right, clearly, wholly, it stops you controlling it stops controlling you and starts empowering you, okay? It stops controlling you and starts empowering you, okay? I hope this video helps. I hope I wasn't too much all over the place. But yeah, guys, if you like spiritual videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Comment what triggers, okay, that you experience with other people that trigger you and why. I would love to know what triggers that you experience in your everyday to day lives and what ways you cope with it and what ways you identify and fix it, okay? You can leave your comments below. No judgment. This is no judgment zone, okay? I love you guys. Until next time, choo-choos.